Hello there. I hope everybody had a great holiday. We're quickly approaching New Year's, and so I thought it'd be a great time to start talking about New Year's resolutions. My name is Erin, and for those of you that are new here, I've lost 80 pounds over the course of the last year and a half. I do what I eat in a days, and I talk about weight loss, and I do fun weekend vlogs. So if that interests you, you can hit the subscribe button below. I've talked about how I've lost the 80 pounds over time, but it is important for me to tell you that I am currently still losing weight. I am currently on my journey. That journey is likely to never end. The changes that I made are lifetime changes, and I continue to make them every day. So New Year's resolutions are super important to me still. They were a huge milestone before my journey started. Before it really got underway, they were a huge milestone. I stopped putting as much importance into them over the last 2 years, only because I have learned to look at them a little bit differently than I used to. I'm 33 years old, and for the majority of those adult years and teen years, I put so much pressure on myself on the new year. And most of that pressure came from how I viewed myself and how I thought other people viewed me. And I thought, the New Year's coming up and everyone's going to expect me to have a weight loss New Year's resolution. And I expected myself to have a New Year's resolution. And so I put a lot of pressure on myself every single year. And a lot of the time it was counterproductive. Pressure is good. You should hold yourself accountable. But I do feel like there is feelings around the new year and people that are overweight or struggling with weight loss that make that pressure mount in a way that is almost mentally damaging. Most of the people around me, when it came to New Year's resolutions, it was always a financial resolution, a weight loss resolution, or a mental health resolution. Those were like the main three things that people that I knew, they kind of focused on those three things. I focused on weight loss. Sometimes I would have a financial resolution to go along with it. Sometimes I would have a mental health resolution or something that involved that. But 99% of the time it was weight loss and weight loss alone. And I think where most of the pressure came from and most of the anxiety every year was the fact that part of me knew, a very big part of me knew, that I would fail. And I didn't give myself any credit at all. I expected myself to fail, and so even as I was setting that resolution, that New Year's resolution, deep down inside, I knew that I wasn't going to follow through with it, that it would only last for so long. And that's what people call Quitter's Day. I think someone once said to me, it was like the second Friday of the month or something like that, where most people quit their resolutions, specifically weight loss resolutions. So even as I was setting it, and even as the people around me were expecting me to set a weight loss resolution, they were also expecting me to fail, and I was expecting myself to fail. And most of the time I did. All of the time I did. In fact, I didn't even successfully get on a weight loss journey and successfully start losing weight and keep it off in the first of the year. I started in the middle of the year. So weight loss resolutions never worked for me, but that doesn't mean that I don't look at them differently now. And I wish I could have looked at them differently in the past, because maybe I wouldn't have taken so long to find my way. Every year when I would set a weight loss goal, I would jump headfirst into something that was too much. And I didn't realize at the time that it was too much, but I would pick a diet that is very extreme, and physical goals like going to the gym and things that were very extreme, basically setting myself up for failure. Because the truth, what worked in the end was small goals, small achievable goals that I could set for myself over the course of a few weeks and hit those goals, and then set a new goal and hit that goal and set a new goal. And that motivates me to keep going and set bigger and bigger and bigger goals. Whereas before, in every new year, I would set a huge insurmountable goal, like losing 100 pounds right away. And of course I wouldn't meet that, because I've just put so much pressure on myself. The first time I would skip a day at the gym or eat something that wasn't on my diet, the whole thing was flushed down the toilet. I don't even think I made it to a second Friday of the month. I think I probably made it a week most times. You cannot restrict yourself like that. It's counterproductive. It's going to make things so much harder than they need to be. if I could go back in time now and do this all over again on New Year's, I would be picking something very small, like walking more, or try to eat more vegetables on my plate and less meat and carbs. Small things like that, and build up to bigger things. I would set research goals for myself. Look at different ways that I can move my body that are fun. Research ways to exercise, research different health benefits of different foods and negative effects of other foods. I wouldn't jump headfirst into a New Year's resolution. I would build up. I would build up over the course of the year, into something bigger. That's how I would do it differently. And it's funny because now when I am like going to the gym and things and New Year's comes around, I am on the other side of it and I see this huge increase in gym activity. I remember last year I was going frequently to the gym in before January, and I kind of like saw the regulars at the gym all the time. And then suddenly there was this influx of people January 1st that made it difficult to get to certain equipment at the gym that I was used to being able to get to rather easily. It made the gym very crowded. Now, I had more of an understanding mind about it because I was that person so many times in the past. But I could see other people get frustrated. And so like I got to see the other side of things and why there can be negativity in the new year from people who don't experience this level of anxiety, that don't experience New Year's resolutions like some of us do. And even this year, my husband was talking about his New Year's resolutions, and I found myself negatively thinking or like saying something to him about it, and I had to kind of kick myself. He was talking about not drinking soda anymore, and I remember saying to him, that's your New Year's resolution every year. And I had to kind of check myself, because so what if it's his New Year's resolution every year? I want him to kind of slow down on the soda. He drinks a lot of soda, and I want him to succeed in the goals that he sets for himself. And if it takes years and years and years for him to get there, who am I to say who am I to criticize that? It took me years and years and years to get how far I've gotten now. And I guess that conversation has really made me think a lot about New Year's resolutions these last few weeks, and how I look at them now and how I view them now and how I want to view them going forward. I don't want it to be this negative thing, because I do have a lot of negative feelings around the new year based on how I felt in the past, about failing, about wanting something so badly and not knowing how to get it, or not finding the motivation or confidence to get it. New Year's resolution this year is to go to the gym more, because I haven't been doing that. I haven't been prioritizing weightlifting like I wanted to. I move my body so much more than I used to. I walk a lot. I do exercise. I do a lot of at-home workouts, but I do want to focus on weightlifting quite a bit. And so that's my New Year's resolution. I'm not jumping headfirst into some weightlifting program, because I know from experience that is not going to get me where I want to go. Instead, I just am going to go to the gym and explore different things and try different things and new things and find something that I like and build on that. I'm not going to expect to go to the gym every day of the week for the next month. That's unrealistic for me. I don't like going to the gym. So I'm going to have days that I don't go. I'm going to have days that I don't feel like it. And I don't want those days to make me quit my New Year's resolution like I would have the weight loss resolutions in the past. Because if I had a cheat day or a meal that was totally off my diet, I would let that completely derail me, and I would just be like, oh, resolutions out the window. I'm not doing them anymore. So this year, with my New Year's resolution, I will begin slow and I will begin small, and I will expect to have days where I don't want to do it. But that does not mean I'm giving up, and that does not mean I'm quitting. That just means I'm taking a little bitty break for the day, and I will start again the next day. And so that I want to talk about like what you can do if you're going to set a weight loss New Year's resolution. Because here's the thing, you should do it. If you want to do it, don't let anything hold you back. Don't let other people's views of it hold you back, or views about yourself. Don't let a meal or a bite of something or a whole donut or a Dunkin' Donuts coffee or anything like that stop you. If you have a bad day, you have a bad day. That's okay. Focus on the good days and focus on having a good day the next day. Your New Year's resolutions can continue throughout the year, even if you have a bad month. Just keep that in mind, that that's your goal. You're focusing on yourself. You're putting yourself first this year. And however that looks and however that turns out, that's how, do what works for you. Start small. Pick small, achievable goals. Drink more water. Probably heard that a million times, but that's a really good goal to start with. Go for a walk. Have a morning walk. Say, I'm going to have a morning walk on Sunday mornings every week, and it's going to be a 30-minute walk, and I'm going to go down the street and back. And that is a really good goal to start with. It's not something unachievable. It's not something so surmountable that you're immediately going to look for ways to get out of it. It's small, it's achievable. You can build on that. You have a weekly walk, and then suddenly you have a daily walk. But you're building up to that. If you're going to change things about your diet for your New Year's resolution, again, start small. You don't have to jump into a weight loss program like Weight Watchers or the Atkins diet, eating keto. You don't have to immediately jump from what you're doing now into something like that, because those can be extreme. And your body and your mind might not be prepared for something so extreme. And so try something small. Say you're going to go ahead and do Weight Watchers. Do some research. Look into things that other people are eating. There's so much information on YouTube and TikTok, and you could just search recipes. Try some recipes at home before you go and jump into the diet. And yes, you can start that January 1st. You don't have to have a diet in mind January 1st. Just plan to start your research and looking into different avenues and different things that you can do, and try them out, explore them. Your New Year's resolution can be to lose weight, but to do it in a way that you're finding how you want to go about doing that. If you're going to do keto, don't jump right into cutting out all carbs. Well, I think vegetables too. I'm not a keto person, so I'm not quite sure what you're cutting out, but I believe you just eat, the way that I see it, is a lot of meat and a lot of cheese. Which I'm probably very, very wrong on that. I have family members that have done keto and do keto, and it's just what I see them eating a lot of the time. I couldn't do it. I've done Atkins in the past, which I think is a little similar, and I couldn't live off of so little carbs. I was a very hangry person. Weight Watchers works for me. That's what I do, but I look up lots of different recipes, and I try new things all the time, and when I do get bored, because I switch it up. I don't let myself look at it as failing anymore. If I'm on Weight Watchers and I find myself stalling in my weight loss or reaching for things that I wouldn't normally reach for if I was successfully eating on Weight Watchers, then it's time for me to switch it up. It doesn't mean I failed. It just means that I'm bored. And so I tend to switch to eating in a calorie deficit, just tracking calories as opposed to points, because that's interesting, and it just, my mind kind of just works better when I trade things around a little bit. And so that's what I tend to do, and that works for me. And when that stops working, I will try something new and different, because I'm not going to let myself look at it at failing anymore. When something's not working, I change it. I try something new. And so if you're starting a new weight loss journey on New Year's, if you have a new weight loss resolution on New Year's, also expect to try different things and change things up, and don't set your mind on one thing. Don't go out and buy a whole bunch of things for some program. You don't need to do that. You can if you want to, but you don't need to do that. You're capable of starting this with what's in your house right now. I used to be very, very dramatic on New Year's. When I set my weight loss resolutions, I would go through the house and I would dump everything that I thought was bad or wasn't going to be a part of my new diet, and I would just purge everything from the house. And then I would go out and I would buy new tape measures and a new scale and things that would help. Like one year I bought an Apple Watch. This is the same Apple Watch that I had. I use it now. Whereas before, when I bought that, me and my husband both bought ours together. I didn't use it for, I think, like a year and a half. I didn't really use it. I maybe used it for a week or two. And as soon as I let go of my New Year's resolutions, I let go of the Apple Watch, because I did the same thing with a Fitbit one year. I remember that year I went out, I bought the Fitbit, I bought a brand new scale. I went to the grocery store and spent so much money on like fresh groceries and like organic foods, and like I didn't need any of that stuff to get started. I let myself believe that I did. You just don't. I don't now, successfully losing weight and on a weight loss journey consistently. I don't go out and buy nearly half the amount of things that I would buy on a New Year's resolution day. Like, you don't need all that stuff. So I'm rambling a little bit now, but I did want to just do this video because I know so many of you have been talking to me about starting your own weight loss journey, and a lot of times that translates to a New Year's resolution in the new year, and it's totally okay to have a New Year's resolution involving weight loss. It's normal. I had one every single year of my adult life, and I still have one. I have my weight loss resolutions this year. They are small, achievable goals that are attached to a long-term goal that I may not reach this year. I may not reach it next year. I have several of them, but my mindset is so different now going into it, because I'm gonna have days that I consider a bad day. I'm gonna have days where I think I am failing. But in the long run, those are just days in the entire year, and you can begin again every single morning. And so if you're thinking about New Year's resolutions, go for it. Go for it. Don't hold back. But jump into it with kindness for yourself, and don't let doubts hold you back. Weight loss is hard. It's not easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. It is challenging, but it is not impossible, and it's nowhere near as difficult as I used to think it was. I used to think it was just impossible to lose the amount of weight that I wanted to lose. But in reality, it was just making small changes over the course of time, and consistency and commitment. Those are the things that won in the end. Those are the things that are winning for me now. I didn't need a fancy diet. I didn't need a fancy gym membership. The gym I'm going to is a small community gym that I can walk to because I like to walk, but it's right up the street. They don't have a whole lot of crazy equipment because I don't need a whole lot of crazy equipment. But they have the basics, and they have space for me, and that's all that I need. You don't need a fancy watch. You don't need anything like that. Is it fun to have those things? Yes. I'm not going to say I don't like my Apple Watch. But I won't be getting a new Apple Watch. This one's kind of like on its last leg. And I don't think I need a new one. I only use it to track my steps and my workouts. And so I'll be looking at cheaper alternatives when the time comes. But your phone tracks your steps too. There are lots of like free apps that you can use that track your steps that can be really fun. There's some apps that will track your routes for walking. So yeah, so like look into other options. Don't just think you need what everyone else needs, because that's just not the case. My New Year's resolution does involve weight loss, but it also involves being kinder to myself, taking time for myself, for my mental health, and just overall positivity, no longer focusing on the negative. So Happy New Year. Good luck on all of your new goals this year. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye.